Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. A while ago I asked on my stories what are some of the things that you guys would like to ask me. You guys asked some really interesting questions, so let's get to it. Okay, first question. Where are you from? Well, I'm from Lebanon, obviously purely Lebanese, and I couldn't be any more proud. Question number 2. When did you start working out and why? Okay, well, I started working out, I think, by the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. I was actually always very active as a child, but that's when I actually joined the gym. It used to be so much fun. I used to love it. I was actually made fun of a lot in school because I was always wearing sportswear, and yeah, so I was really into it. Yeah, it just really made me feel good about my body. It made me feel strong. Yeah, I was always dedicated and disciplined ever since then, but I would say I started training correctly by mid-2018. So I pretty much screwed my back and my knees before that time. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, I think it's been a while since I've actually started working out. Question number 3. How do you manage your time for fitness, uni, and your personal life? I'm a planner. I love planning. I love writing things down. I love having a schedule that I can follow. Even if I don't follow it, it makes me feel like calm, and it makes me feel better knowing that I am in control of my day and I'm in control of my time and I have things figured out. Like, honestly, when you start organizing your life just by like the smallest details, it makes such a big difference. So yeah, I love to plan, and look, I think at the end of the day it's about priorities. It's about how bad you want to do something, how bad you want something. And I mean, if you really want to work out, you would fit even just 30 minutes of your day to work out, you know. And at the end of the day, I understand that we're human and we can't always, do everything, so you really need to balance your time, and sometimes you need to make sacrifices. But I mean, we have 24 hours a day, so that's like 86,400 seconds. So I think if you really want to do something, you could do it, you would manage, you would find the time. At the end of the day, all I can tell you is it's about priorities, it's about how much you love something. Yeah. If you could give people going into fitness 3 pieces of advice, what would they be? Okay, this is a good one. So number 1, I would say be original. Not necessarily in the way you train, because there are basics, certain rules in which you need to follow to actually see progress without hurting yourself, but be original in your content that you create, in the way you communicate with people. Number 2, I would say don't listen to others. Honestly, people are always gonna try to tell you what to do, what not to do. They don't have your vision, they don't have your goals, so don't expect them to know better or to want what's better for you. And also, a lot of people will support you as long as you're not doing better than them, so pay attention to that. And number 3, I would say don't compare yourself to others, especially on your fitness journey, because seriously, your chapter 1 can be someone's chapter 20, and nothing good can come ever from comparing yourself to someone else. How much do you bench? Well, benching was never really something I actually put my mind into. So I would say the maximum I could lift is like 40 kilos, and that was like a couple of months ago. Because when you're training to compete eventually as a bikini competitor, you don't really care about benching. You barely actually try to train your chest, and when you do, you just isolate them. So it's never really implemented in my program, but I definitely want to bench more in the future, so I'll let you guys know. Your thoughts on civil marriage? Ooh. Okay, so I think my answer is gonna offend some people, but I'm actually totally with civil marriage. I think religions were the worst thing to ever happen to the human race. I know this sounds extreme, but I don't think anything ever good came out of religions being implemented on earth. I know that they were supposedly set forth in order to teach humans how to organize and, how to apply order and law in life, but I think the ultimate purpose of religions was not to do that. It was actually for materialistic purposes, for power, for authority. I just think, basing your love and your marriage to someone on something as silly as religion is the stupidest thing you can do, because I think your connection to God, if you believe in God, your connection with God should never be channeled through only one single pathway or through one single religion. Why do I say this? Well, basically every religion tries to prove that it's at the top of other religions, it's at the top of all religions, and that it is the most righteous one, and it is the best one, and it is the one that's going to get you all the way to heaven and all the way to where you want to get. And I think that alone is very selfish, and I think that alone is very hateful to other religions. But I do understand the social pressure that comes with having married someone outside your religion. Like, I know for sure that a lot of parents would disown their children. A lot of parents, it's crazy. I find it crazy how some of your parents are like, I love you to death, but then you're like, I want to marry someone, but there's a problem, not from the same religion, and then they're like, you're not even my daughter, you're not even my son. Like, I don't know how this happens. So yeah, I think love is way too sacred, and I don't think religion is ever should be a barrier to that. So I'm definitely with civil marriage. I just think the more you include religion in governmental and political stuff, the more corrupted your life is going to be and your country is going to be. So yeah. Your thoughts on binge eating disorder. Okay, so actually I was reading about this disorder a couple of days ago, about its prevalence rates in Lebanon, and in one of the studies the author said that the prevalence rates were actually low, and they concluded that is because of the lack of awareness on the presence of this eating disorder, which I think is very true. I think binge eating is very underrated because, well, let's face it, you're not vomiting after every meal, so it's not recognizable, and you're not almost gonna die because you're underweight. So if you don't know, binge eating disorder is a disorder where you eat a very large amount of food in a very short period of time. You do it rapidly, you have no sense of control, you do it until you are uncomfortably full, and you would try to do it secretly, not in front of people, because you feel very embarrassed, very ashamed, and after the episode of binging you feel terrible, you feel guilty. And this happens at least once a week consistently, according to the DSM-5. So I actually used to binge eat a lot when I was younger. I would say when I was like 16. So I would go on a diet. I'd be really good. I would eat clean, restrict myself. But then I would see some chocolate, and then I would stare. And then the chocolate would be staring right back at me, and it was so intense. It was like a war, and if you know, you know. If you can relate, you would understand what I'm talking about. So it'd be this moment of war of my self-control, trying to fight this urge, and it was such a deep urge. I need to eat you, and eventually I would eat a lot, and I would eat quickly, and I would eat until I'm fully satiated, but I would still eat, and that's when it gets uncomfortable, and that's when you feel really bad and terrible, because you're almost gonna throw up because you're eating and you don't have this sense of control. It was really difficult, I'm not even kidding. I was never officially diagnosed by a professional. I didn't even know it was a thing, and neither did my parents, and I don't blame them. As a kid, I was actually very obsessed with being skinny, very obsessed. I would get up every morning, do cardio, and I was very invested in my body image, even though my mom was actually a very good cook and she always cooked healthy food, and she was very flexible in terms of what we ate, so it was never her. But I don't know, I guess I was just always insecure. I don't remember a specific turning point in which it went away. I mean, I think I still struggle to this day, but I think the thing that helped me most was learning to love my body and to accept it, and really just create this positive mindset. I still have my days, but I would say I'm doing much better now, thankfully. Who is your role model? Okay, me, myself, and I. So I used to look at so many models and I used to think, oh my god, I want my body to be just like that. But when you take the time to actually work on yourself and you see how you've progressed and how your body's changing, you don't want that anymore. You just want a better version of yourself. This is in terms of fitness, but in terms of a general role model in life, I don't think I have one yet. You see, when you're a psychology student, you start to understand where each person's behavior is coming from and you start to acknowledge their strengths, their weaknesses. Because of that, I don't think there's anyone that I especially think that is the person I want to be when I grow up, because I think now I have the ability to better understand people than most of the people around me. So I think I'm ahead in that. But don't get me wrong, I definitely have a lot of people who inspire me and who I look up to and who I admire very much, but not exactly role models. I think my role model would be myself, just an improved, much improved version of myself. I would want my role model to have inner peace, intellect, and physical fitness, and these three things are very hard to find in a single person, especially inner peace. So I think when you think of a role model, I don't think it should be anyone but yourself, an improved version of yourself. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please ask. I will do another one in the future. Bye!